These pictures were made by my daughter, Becky Eddy, while our family was in West Tennessee for my mother, Willie Penix Finch's burial on October 4th, 2014. Before the graveside service at the Pine Grove Baptist Church Cemetery, we stopped at the site of my granddaddy Penix's 160-acre farm at the 18-mile marker on Highway 22 near Lexington, Tennessee. The farm was sold after his death in 1950. Penix Lane runs along the eastern and southeastern edge of the farm. One of the buildings was originally a sharecropper shack and was completely modified and rebuilt by my Uncle Don Penix about 1955. Uncle Don and his family continued to live in the house on about 2 or 3 acres from the old farm until he, his wife Mellie, and one of the sons, James Donald, died. From the upper end of Penix Lane, 2 of the old ponds can be seen, though one of them is grown up in water lilies and other vegetation. One of the old buildings was Uncle Don's fiddle shop. He became good at making fiddles, and a store at exit 108 on Interstate 40 sold many of them for him. Larry Campbell used one of them while on tour with Bob Dylan. My grandparents, Frank and Jenny Bartholomew Penix, raised their family on the farm beginning about 1909. Their firstborn, J.F., lived less than a year. Their other 5 children were Lois, Willie Edith, Mary Sue, Don, and Ruth Penix. The siblings began to marry and leave the farm in the mid to late 1930s. My mother, Willie Edith, married Spencer F. Finch. Lois married Lucille Fuller. Don married Millie Bird. Mary Sue married J.D. Milam, and Ruth married Bill Pearson. A couple of the pictures show the original barn for the old place, and of course it hasn't been used for many years. Sam Allen Page, a close friend of the Penix family, was the first owner of the farm after my granddaddy's death. The Pages, Ruth and Lizzie, and their children Sam, Evelyn, Betty, and Charles lived near the old farm on their own place. They also owned and operated a small country store. They were best friends to the Penix family, and I think it was appropriate that Sam owned it, and as long as he was physically able to farm there. My granddaddy Penix was a carpenter, and in 1942, 3, and early 1944 worked in the Secret City, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and helped build many of the Smesto houses near the intersection of New York, Pennsylvania, Vermont, and West Tennessee avenues. He lived alone in an apartment in Knoxville and rode a bus to and from the budding town each day. He was there for the above-average wages being paid for construction, while Oak Ridge was being quickly built in about a year and a half. He built numerous houses in or near Lexington, Tennessee. He worked on scaffolding in Lexington for 10 hours the day he had a massive heart attack and died in September 1950.